We should be okay. The signal kind of sucks up here, but it is what it is. So we play with it and do what we can. Yeah, a little better. Yeah. Did a quick test of the little propane. So heated up a slice of pizza, which is nice. Good pizza. Volcano pizza. That's awesome. They're worth the drive to Fonthill for me. It's about 45 to 50 minutes. And yeah, definitely worth the drive. Their pizza's just incredible. So, and it's not really expensive, all things considered. It's not. But here now, done cooking. If you're really interested in seeing the video, come back to the channel. I'll have the video up probably tomorrow. I should have to go back, edit it, and put it together and throw it online. I'll go back to my snack. Go on the dessert after lunch. Honey roasted peanuts. Oh. They're pretty addicting. But I'm here on a quite little dead-end country road. And those are where you find some of the cool spots on the quiet dead-end areas. Southern Ontario has too much development. So there's no... I dropped the peanut. I didn't see where it went. I wanted to throw it out. I guess I'll have to just get it afterwards. But yeah, the dead-end roads are the only place where you can find some, a little peace and quiet in the country area. Because around the southern part of Ontario, you don't get a lot of wilderness. So it's few and far between you find these areas. Well, still, you see a house over here, so it's not far. So I'm not totally in the wilderness, but southern Ontario is so developed, so much agriculture. You just look at the Google Maps satellite view of the province, and you just see giant square lands. So you try to find a nice spot to go and hang out and chill out, and test out your new propane setup. So heat up a slice of pizza. Hey Robert, how's it going, man? It's going here. Got some honey roasted peanuts. I just tested out my my Pullman propane stove and a cast iron pan. Heat up a slice of pizza, and then I reheated some some ground beef. Added some hot sauce from Becco's hot sauce. Good stuff, man. It's got flavor. And some Bullseye barbecue stuff. Good stuff, man. It's got some flavor. But Becco's hot sauce is local to Toronto. It'll ship anywhere. Yeah, assuming we can, because of the postal strike and crap. But if you're at all local, you want to grab some from him. It's really, really good. And that's what I like about hot sauce. I'm not a hot sauce for the sake of hot. That's pointless. I mean, I would never willingly go to my way to get like Frank's hot sauce. That's just holy crap. Hey Anita, how's it going? He's got some flavor. There's some kick to it, and he has various levels of kicks and various levels of flavors. But it's nice to find something that actually tastes good and still has a little bit of a nice little kick to it. Now my spice tolerance is pretty high. I lived in South Korea for 5 years. Did a bunch of tech support over there. Some website design for some companies. So they're really big on chilies over there. And it's funny. They don't think white people can handle high heat. I went to a restaurant once to order some chicken. And some spicy chicken. And I ordered it. And I heard the waitress go to one of our other coworkers, point out what I ordered, and in Korean, I heard the other person go, "Really?" It's like, "Jinja!" I was like, "Oh, here we go." So another guy, I don't know if it was a chef or just another server comes back to me and goes, points at the menu, really hot. I say, I know, ordered last week. I know what I was ordering. So I got it. It really freaks them out that, that they don't understand chilies aren't native to Korea. They were imported. But lovely country, absolutely beautiful. But they really don't know too much culturally about the rest of the world, except for what they get from movies and stuff. But it is what it is. You tell them, you show them, you explain. It's like, no, we got hot stuff too. But nice to just kind of get out. I'm about half hour, 25 minutes away outside the city to find a nice little quiet area. It's a dead-end country road. So you just get away from everything, relax, test out my barbecue setup, which is kind of cool. So heat up a slice of pizza and realize that it actually crisps the bottom if you got it on high. And I didn't have the lid for my cast iron, so I couldn't keep the heat in. It warmed it up, but yes, I have propane. So I picked up a 10-pound propane tank, and I have a Coleman with a dual burner set up. So my little propane stove, you heat something up. I call it barbecue. Take your pick. Propane stove, propane barbecue. I do have a barbecue, but it's huge and bulky and awkward and messy, and it's just takes up too much space. The 2-burner stove is really kind of thin. And I have a propane heater. So originally I wanted to go out today and test it out, see what it's like, and probably do the cooking inside the vehicle. Oh, pardon me. Inside the vehicle and heating, but it's warm out, warmish. It's like 7 degrees. This is the same 13.6 inside of here, which is kind of interesting to see. Yeah, it has. And what's my watch say? 8 degrees. So that's why I got the side doors open. Let's do a quick little show. My side doors are open. Yes, I've got coach doors. And so I got a 2003 Honda Element. All right, come on. There we go. I'm going to do that. So a 2003 Honda Element. I just recently set up my storage netting up here. This is not the greatest, but it works for now, like everything else. So I brought a slice of pizza from Volcano's Pizza. They're awesome pizza. I'll go down there once every month or so with a friend and we'll get pizza because it's really good. And it's summertime, what's really evil is right beside them is a gelato place. So good and bad stuff about that. The pizza's awesome and gelato is good, but you usually eat too much of the pizza and you can't eat the gelato. So that's all right. So you try to eat a little bit less of the pizza so you can leave room for gelato. And then I didn't cook, reheated some ground beef. I added some hot sauce, from Becco's hot sauce or Veronica hot sauce, really good. And added some bullseye barbecue sauce. Now snacks, honey roasted peanuts. So get to have a little bit of fun. Wanted to test out the cooking and see what I need. Things I forgot. One of the things I forgot is cleaning wipes. Now I have something that could work, but I got to be a little careful with the cast iron because I don't want it to absorb any chemicals, right? With cast iron, you generally only wash it with hot water. So I need to make sure that I have something to scrub it with, and some hot water. So hot water is going to be interesting, especially if you're out camping long term. Now, I learned about something kind of neat. Hello. Oh, I can't read Hindi. So you have to type your name if there's an English version of it. I'm not sure, but that's sorry, not a name. That's a big term in Hindi, whatever it is. Like the if I were to guess, some sort of blessing to a deity, to either Ganesh or something. Yes, I know a little bit about the Eastern religion. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. This is awesome. Love having people chat, ask questions. I do my best to answer them. I will ramble on and tell stories because I got lots of stories to tell. But I'm just here in Canada, having some fun and enjoying, some snacks. But just trying to get used to this. I think my seat is all forward. This vehicle, oops, that's a bit more comfortable. Yeah, yeah. My overhead storage is now keeping my hair in place. I will get something better for this, but there's really not a ton of roof space in here anyway, so it's not going to get much better as far as storage goes. But yeah, hot water. I saw something kind of neat that someone had done, and I kind of want to go that way. So he does in the morning. He makes his coffee or whatever. He boils a decent sized pot of water, enough for a coffee, and then puts it in this other, I'll say, thermos type of container, and it keeps that for the day because it keeps the water hot/warm, and so used throughout the day. It's like, that's pretty smart, actually. So I'm probably going to do something like that because I think you're not going to be heating water all the time. Huh, thanks. I appreciate that. I've been around, but yes, I was formerly married to an East Indian woman, so we were taking Hindi lessons. I learned to speak a little bit of Hindi. I only know a few things left. First thing I learned in Hindi was Mujhe tumse pyare hai. So I know about screwing in the light bulb and pet the dog at the same time. And I loved watching Shah Rukh Khan and a bunch of his films. So, yes, I know a little bit. And I can tell when there's so many things that's not a name, it's obvious a sentence, a prayer of some sort. And that's fine. I can't read it. Yeah, I'm a man of great experience. I lived in South Korea for 5 years, doing some tech work over there in the data centers and on the US bases. Yep, here comes the rain. It's just starting. Might have to close the windows up a little bit, close the doors. If it gets any worse. It's very light right now, so I'm not too worried about. Yeah, you'd be amazed at stuff that I know, the experience I have. 5 years living in another country. It took me 3 years before I stopped thinking I'm living in an East Indian country. Like we sold our house, sold the cars, donated the cat, covered everything, and left Canada for 5 years. No, I don't regret it at all. It was fun. It was great. I enjoyed it. So cheap over there. Good food. I'm just watching for the rain to see how much it might be increasing. Yeah, I think I'll just close the doors. I'm not going far. I'm literally right here. Hang on. It's just awkward because it's on an angle. There we go. Door closed. Door's closed. I'll open up the window so it doesn't accumulate too much humidity or moisture in here. But yeah, so I'm setting up my vehicle for camping, some long-term camping. So that's why I decided to come out here. I bought the barbecue. I bought a 10-pound propane tank. And needed to really test it out to make sure everything works the way I expect it to be. Nothing is worse for you to buy something and then go to use it weeks or months later and realize something's not working. Originally, I want to run the heater as well, but it's not cold enough to run a heater. It's so warm out. So that's okay. So I had the doors open while I was doing that. I don't know if my camera is just really fuzzy or if that's just the lighting on it. Let me just see if I can. I guess the camera was just fuzzy. And now my mount, my camera mount's giving me a hard time. Okay, just bend it over this way. Hope you guys aren't still gonna seasick easy. Yeah, close enough. That's better. So it was just a little fuzzy. It was fingerprints or whatever the case may be. But so yeah, so I'm not camping at the moment. I just found a nice little quiet area outside the city, where you don't have any traffic. Occasionally, people who there are houses nearby. There's one I can see just right over there. You know, maybe 100 meters, if even that. And they got actually a couple guys. They're gone out hunting, so they're hunting for deer and they're using crossbows, so doing some bow hunting. So that's the first time I've seen that. I've been coming out here for a few years. Just a nice little place to kind of get away from anything, everything, and not be bothered by people or cars or traffic. And you can just do your thing, right? There's actually a song from the Reacher TV series soundtrack. And just like, you know, let me do my thing. That's all I want to do. I just want to do my thing. I don't need a ton of money. I just want to be able to make enough to be able to do my thing. That's it. I should be a t-shirt. I should make a t-shirt. Do your thing. Oh man, that's driving me nuts now. But there's nothing I can do about that. And these rear seats don't slide forward. Although apparently the version of these that was exported to Japan did have some sliding rear seats, which I thought was kind of interesting. Let's see, another piece just fell down. Oh, I found this one. Nah. But we can just toss that. So, any other questions? Man, I'm here just kind of chilling out. I've done my cooking. Don't need the heating. Rain has started. So how? My blackouts work really, really well. This is my blackout material for the windows. So where if I'm camping somewhere and I just don't want to be bothered, I want some privacy, I will put these in the windows. So I've got them made for the two sides and the rear sides, the rear passenger sides. The one in the rear window, that one right there, that one's irritating because for some reason, even though you kind of tuck this in, it's not a pressure fit, so it doesn't hold inside there. So I'm gonna make some stuff. I can 3D print a couple little wedges, and once the material is in there, just put a little wedge behind it, and that'll hold it in there. That's the only one, which is no big deal. This is like an acoustic insulating type foam. It's really thin, and I'm so glad I got it. It's like $4 a meter, so for $4 or $4 a yard, if you will. And would try to trace these out to make these patterns. It's actually not easy, but you learn. And I've made a couple of mistakes. When you make a pattern and then you cut it. If you cut it too short, this is a whole piece gone. So these 3 out of these 4, when I did them, well, pardon me, yeah, 1, 2, 3, the 3 in the back that I did, I went a little bigger and then start trimming down. So it's a lot of trimming, but at least it fits right. And that was the important. It fits really, really well. But it's funny because sometimes you forget what you're doing. So I made one. The other window's literally a mirror image, so it's the exact same pattern. So I made one, then I would just put it on. I would take that one I made, put it on the material, trace that out, cut it out, and then I would have 2. Then I don't have to do any extra measurements or trimming. Except that you need to flip it. It needs to be the mirror image. So I've got an extra one of these. It's like, oh, that sucks. But that's why I bought extra material this time. But I had to be really careful with the back one because I didn't have enough material to do a second one of that. These are just oddball shapes. So I was like, oh, just be really careful. But I did it, and it's fine. Now I just got to use some clips or wedges to kind of hold it in place so it doesn't fall out. Because the plastic pieces against the window isn't very tight. So it's a little loose. So even though this is a little too thin, if you will, for back there. Actually, most of back there has a rubber seal around it. So you don't get too much plastic. And the rubber seal isn't tight against the window at that point. Yes, well, good wishes, happy Christmas, Merry Holidays, and Merry Ho Ho, and however else. Here so far, well, I'm sure we'll have snow by Christmas, because we've had snow and it all melted, now it's raining. But yes, holiday seasons, and we're all having a little bit of fun here. That's what we're trying to do. Now just keep testing my camping equipment. So at some point, I will do some winter camping. I record everything. Like all the cooking part of it that I did here, I recorded it, but it will go up tomorrow. So you might want to subscribe to the channel. And then you get notified when the next video is coming out. So that video recording, you'll see what happened just before this live does. So you're going to have a little bit of fun, watch that, and see what I actually did. And you can understand more of the camping setup that I have. I have to go back and check about the propane setup. I might have only I did some live. I think I did some live streams of that. I don't know if I recorded it. You do so many little things, trying to keep up with stuff. It can be a real challenge. Video editing too. I don't have the right setup. I mean, I do everything on my iPad, so I use iMovie. It does an okay job. I don't have any real problems with that. I also want to start getting a little fancy. And there's a limit to how fancy. Like you do like a picture-in-picture, you know, swap out or add some audio, but anything much beyond that, you need something else. So I've been trying. Sure, playing one with DaVinci Resolve, and it looked promising. Problem is converting video format, and I'm not a big fan of continuously just paying money for everything. But in order to use my iPhone's native format, you have to buy the special audio codecs or video codec. I mean, the audio is fine, so it won't show the video, which is bizarre. But they're welcome to the world of technology. And I don't really want to buy something from the Microsoft store. And they get enough of my information. They really don't need any more of my money. They get enough from just buying the laptop itself. But, well, we'll see. Small pet peeves. I don't mind buying some stuff, but sometimes it's just like, it's only 99 cents. But that's just another place that has to have a credit card. At some point, you just get kind of tired of that. But at some point, you know, I'll upgrade eventually and get some decent setup. Adobe really screwed people over. So I don't want to use Adobe stuff. I can't really support a company that sneakily screws people over. And intentionally. That's a shame. These really are addictive. So, can't wait till I get a chance to really test things out. But getting there. Next thing I have to sort out, which I have mostly sorted out already, is my sleeping. I mean, right now I could do it if I really want to. I can. I'm not really, you know, stuck. But I haven't tested that out. So the heating I've tested out, the barbecuing, propane cooking I just tested out, and it's fine. And you know, like I said, if you want to see the actual cooking part, subscribe to the channel, and I'll have that video up sometime tomorrow. So I just recorded everything before I started the live stream, so then I'll have it up there tomorrow. I'll probably go home and edit it tonight, and who knows, I might even have it up tonight. We'll see. Just kind of depends on, you know, how stuff I get done when I get back home. But just kind of nice to kind of get out, get away from everything. There are people who wonder why, like, why would you go away to do some cooking and you have a stove at home? Like, that's right. But I can't cook on that stove at home while I'm out camping. So I have to make sure I understand my camping setup. And I need to get some cleaning stuff so that when I'm done camping, I hadn't thought about that. I only thought about the cooking part, not not the cleaning part after you're done cooking. I did have to, because it's cast iron, I had to let it sit so it can cool down before I can pack it up or anything like that, of course. But just nice to kind of get up and get away. There's a neat little saying I found that I want to build a life I don't need a vacation from. And that's what I'm working on right now. Living in this full time would be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do something like that. I mean, I've got the set where I theoretically could. I'd have to get rid of a lot of crap. I'm sort of getting rid of some of that excess crap too. When I moved into my apartment, I thought, that's so big. What am I putting here? Now it's like, I have too much crap. I need to get rid of it. So that's why I'm slowly going putting up on local classifieds, just getting rid of things. That's something else I should be doing too. Take some pictures and get it out of the way. So that's what this is for. Storage. My window protectors. I have to add a little tab to those, so making pulling them off easier. So, which is again not too hard. I have ideas what I might do. I don't want to just glue something to the foam because that'll come off real easily. So, what I'll probably do is do a little slit. And since I have extra of this stuff, I'll just make it like a little long T-shaped piece. So I'll glue that T-shaped piece here and have the other piece just sticking out. Now, not on this piece. This piece sits on these windows on the side, and they're really easy to get out. But it's the ones on the back windows that are against, and there's nothing to grab at all without chewing up the foam. And I can already see some, a bunch of fingernail marks because that's just what's going to happen. So it's white on the inside, so we'll keep more light inside. Now, but with the reflectix in there, and these are pieces I made as well. Cheapest way to do it is, custom. You make it yourself. It takes a little more time and effort to do so, but they can be done. There are things you can buy, and it gets expensive. I mean, you're spending, a couple $100, or I think the roll of reflectix, I think it was like maybe $50, $45. And this black material, let's see, I got 2 and 3, so 5, so $25. So maybe like $100. I get everything I need done. I'm not buying. I didn't make any of the blackout for the front 2 windows. I'm less worried about that. I've actually got a curtain that goes across. So I got a little insulated curtain. So that will be enough to keep anything back here private. And that's the whole point of it. Privacy. And the reflectix will do the heat control. So both in the wintertime, any heat generated will help keep it in. And in the summertime, any heat being beamed into from the sun can be reflected back out. So dual purpose. Now you really can't use these for privacy. Well, you can, but if there are people who live in their vehicle in the city, you have these in the window, it's not stealthy. People will know you're living in your vehicle. There are people who've made this and they've blacked out one side of it. That does give you a blackout. It does work, but by doing it that way, you reduce the efficiency of this because the black will absorb the heat as opposed to reflect the heat. So if you're trying to stay cool in the vehicle, you're literally adding more heat to your vehicle. So it's what I found leaving a 1-inch gap between the window and the Reflectix, that air gap adds another layer of insulation. So you double the effectiveness of this. So I've got the blackout material, which is acoustically insulating. So it's a little bit of foam, so a bit of insulation just in general for warmth. And I've got this. It'll be super warm in here. I won't have any problems with heat in this thing at all. In the summertime, I won't likely need the blackout ones because I'm not planning on sleeping on streets. So I got a good little setup here. Will be interesting to do some camping and have a bit of fun, go on some adventures. Let's see what we can do over the winter time. We'll do something. Not sure what. I'll definitely do some stuff. And of course, I'll be taking everybody along with me. Depending where I go, may or may not get, self-service. Hold on, excuse me. There we go. I can breathe again. Well, what time is it now? Is it total time? Oh, let's look at this way. Yep. All right, so it is the right time. 2:37. It's just seeing notifications. Nothing overly important there. So I've done the camping. I also got for snacks Lay's turkey dinner. Holiday table. Limited edition. Made in Canada. These are okay. You're supposed to have that turkey stuffing flavoring. Problem with Lay's, and there's always been the problem, is that they're very stingy on the flavoring. Really disappointing. I generally don't buy Lay's just because of that. And the potato chip really is just a medium for moving the flavor along. But we don't have much flavor. So there's some flavor here. It's very subtle. It's okay. But that's why I like the other stuff, because you get some real flavor. The whole point you're buying chips is not because you're eating necessarily chips, but you want the flavor. Oh, it's not bad. Turkey dinner in the French. Les pâtes de dinde. I didn't think turkey was dinde. I thought turkey was something else in French. I don't remember what it was, but here we are. Wow. Then something else I did. I haven't shown anyone yet. So I bought this light. It's a fan. Right, and it hangs up. So I can hang it up. An anchor, and it's got a ring light, which is kind of cool. But it's designed to run off of 3 AA batteries. Well, that's a pain in the ass. But wait, 3 AA batteries is 4.5 volts all told. So it's running off of 4.5 volts. Well, when you're doing a battery charger, USB, it's 5 volts. Huh. So I literally took it apart, wired up, USB cable. There's the light, fan, and both. All running off of rechargeable battery pack. Now I can hang this forever. Fan, and in summertime I'm going to fan and a reading light. Simple electronics. once I realized, how the wiring works. It took me a little bit. I was trying to figure out how to do the least amount of wiring inside of there. I didn't have to do much. Just had to basically connect all these battery holders together. They're connected, but unless there's a battery in it, you're not getting anywhere. So I had to just run a little jumper between each of the ends of the battery connectors. Actually, I run a jumper on 2 of them, and the last one is what I spliced in this wire. So this is the last, link in the series. And then it works, obviously. It's like, cool. So I've done, I like to do little hacks like that because it's really handy. And you want, when you're out camping, you want as much rechargeable stuff. Now I've got a big battery pack, a lithium battery that I bought. Now it's not one of the big brand names like Blue Eddy or Anchor or any of those guys. They're still pretty expensive. And for what I need, they're overkill. I'm trying to do everything that does not need an inverter. You can build your own battery, your own power station for half the cost, even less. My battery I picked up, it's a 50 amp hour battery. Most of the bigger battery stations are like 100 amp hours. 100 amp hour pure battery itself is like $300. I'm going, I don't really want to spend $300. I want to do less than that. So I bought just the battery, the 50 amp hour, because like I said, I don't have major power requirements. I don't run heavy duty stuff. I'm not running an induction cooked up type. I just need to, charge my phone, charge my iPad, and recharge batteries. So it's okay. You know what? I'll step down to a 50 amp hour. That does 2 things. Lowers the cost, and then I get to use and learn how to set up the power that I do need. So I bought one from DC House. I'm going to be doing a better review on this. And, some sort of, generic brand name. But looking through their documentation, they mention Eco-Worthy. So I think they're like a no-name sub-brand from Eco-Worthy. That's possible. I don't know for a fact. So I bought that. And all lithium batteries come with a battery management system. They need that to control the voltage in and out. Unless you're buying raw cells, different story. So it has obviously your typical battery plug, not car battery, but that little screw terminal, so you get your positive negatives. But it also has a USB-C plug and a DC plug, and it's like the little round barrel connectors. They're just round with a hole in the middle of it, and it's 5.5 millimeter, very common size. Those ports where you can plug things in to get power out and to put power in. So I thought that's pretty kind of cool. And it has an on-off switch too. So now anything with USB-C I can, get power from. But because USB-C, you can actually power something. So I can plug a USB-C cable into it and recharge the battery slowly, but you can still do it. And same for the DC port and the 212 terminal. It's like, this is brilliant. I was thinking I was going to build this battery box, put the battery in, and put all these plugs and whatnot. And I realized I don't need that. Like this battery, it has those two ports alone is enough. Now I have solar panels. I bought them 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. And I bought at the same time I bought a Motormaster power station. Motormaster is a brand name from Canadian Tire, which is a big chain store in Canada. Started off as a big automotive store, and they still have garages, automotive garages and service and parts, but they have a big, everything else. All your seasonal stuff, your housing, of course, tons of automotive is a big part of it, but they got everything else too. Camping gear. This is like earlier versions of power stations before they became popular in the last couple of years. And it's an old lead acid style, so it's got like a small version of a car battery in it. This thing is heavy, but it can jump start a vehicle. It has an inverter built into it. It has 3 120 ports into it, one USB-A style port on it, and then a 12-volt socket on the side. So it's nice. It's kind of cool. My solar panels are only 50 watts. There's Noma solar panels, and there's like 25 watts each. Nothing really to brag home about. They're big, and they don't put out a lot of power relative to the stuff that's on the market today. But it will charge the battery. Now that battery has a maximum of about 400 watts. That's it. And being a lead acid style battery, you don't want to drain those styles of batteries less than 50%. So really, you have about 200 watts of usable power. Not a lot. Just as an example, I wonder if I can get the... it's so worn out, it's hard to read some of this stuff. Capacity, so 10,000 to 50 milliamps at... this is 38 watt hours. So, that big jumpstart power box can recharge this 3.5 times. And this is not a big battery. It's a metal one, so I'm keeping it because it's kind of cool. But still, 3.5, no. Yeah, 3.5 times. Not a lot. But at that time, I did need it. I just wanted to get into something solar, and so I didn't know too much. So I bought something. The solar panels were on sale. They were on a clearance, so I got them for a really good deal. The one thing that did impress me about them is I took them home, and I'm inside, and I pull them out of the thing. There's little LED lights that tells you when they're charging. Inside at night with only the ceiling light on, and they were ready to produce power. I was like, those are really sensitive. They work. That's could produce power from your ceiling light bulb. It's an LED bulb I've got in there, and it's already picking up to produce some power. I don't know how much. It wouldn't be very much. The fact that it could at all was impressive. So, which is kind of cool. But now that I've got this other battery, I did buy a separate battery charger, but that plugs into 120s. And that charges up the battery just fine, obviously. But it will do other batteries as well. So it will do your regular, automotive sealed lead acid, the gels, the AGM styles, as well as the lithium styles. Lithium, and this is something, if you're ever going to look at buying something, you want to be careful with. Lithium, there are two types. The older style lithium batteries, which is likely what's in here and generally what's in your phone, they're called lithium ion. The newer styles are lithium iron phosphate, LiFePO4, phosphate 4. So that's a different style. So you got to make sure when you're buying things to charge and recharge and use, well, the charging is critical for the lithium iron phosphate style if you have that type of battery. So that's something I found out where the charger I bought, it's like, wait, that's lithium ion. Would it charge the LiFePO4, the lithium iron phosphate? So I did some research and found out that yes, it will. So I was lucky with that one, but some of them don't. So just do your due diligence, do your research, get onto Reddit groups, Facebook groups, and ask questions. Some stuff you just won't find just lying around, and you have to kind of accidentally run into stuff. Like with the propane. And it's just stuff not commonly easily available. So the little green 1 pound canisters, they're really expensive for what you get. Like for me, they generally sell them in pairs or 3s or 4s, but in pairs it's $20 for a pair. That's $9 a canister, which is ridiculous. And they're not refillable. Caveat, meaning you can't take them to a propane station and ask them to refill it. They won't do it. They're disposable. They're just tossed away. Now there are little adapters where you can refill them, but you have to do it yourself. Now I bought a 10-pound tank. Now the 10-pound tank and the 5, the 7, the 10, and the 20-pound, those are like your regular barbecue propane tanks, but their connector is bigger than the smaller ones on the green. So you have to get an adapter hose. Now this is where the learning comes in, because it takes a bit of digging to find out. If you buy the adapter hose, the regular propane barbecue tanks are what's under what's called high pressure, and the green bottles are low pressure. So you need one of two things, if not both. You need to regulate the pressure down so that when it's flowing into anything that uses the green bottles, it's not under too much pressure, because then it just blows out too much and won't light. Second, the hose you use is important. because with the high pressure hose, well, pardon me, with the high pressure from the tank, you have two types of hoses that you can buy. The low pressure hoses, which are used for the small green ones, or high pressure hoses. Now, not that you're going to boil out the hose. That's not the concern. The concern is if you're using a low pressure hose with a high pressure tank, it puts pressure on the hose, but that actually starts squeezing it. And there have been reports of people with those Mr. Heater buddies, and it's Mr. Heater Buddy, not Mr. Buddy Heater, just to be clear, where it squeezes the hose, and the hose starts actually leaking out some of its oil that's in the material. That's part of what it is. You squeeze something and juice comes out of it. But with a rubber hose, you're getting oil. Oil is actually building up inside those heaters, those propane heaters, fouling them up, and they start failing. That's because of the pressure. So if you use a high pressure hose all the time, you're good. So I've got a high pressure hose as an adapter. Now the other thing I'm not sure about is how it's being regulated. That's something I'm still not quite understanding, even though it works just fine. The heater works fine. The propane stove, actually, I have not run this on the heater, now that I think about it. So I think I will still need to get a regulator for the heater. So, something's still to buy, and I haven't tested out the heater yet. So it's a good thing I'm talking about this, because I remember. So yeah, that's something to learn, that's for sure. But knowing the difference between those two pressure hoses, it's not just on like every website, and they don't tell you about this. I had to do a lot of digging. I found out about it accidentally. So definitely do your research when you're doing this stuff. So this is a high pressure hose that I got. I just gotta find a regulator to use to attach to the my propane catalytic heater, and then I'll be all good. Yes. So it's a good thing I didn't test the heater today, because it probably wouldn't have worked. And I'd be wondering, why is it not working suddenly? No. Stuff you learn by trial and fire. Wow. But otherwise, it's a fun journey. Certainly am learning a lot. I have to do a lot of research, a lot of digging. And you get there. I'm going to... Oh, aha. And in my mouth. You know, a lot of trial by fire, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna make some mistakes. As long as I don't burn down my vehicle, I'm good. This stuff is kind of addictive. These honey roasted peanuts, man. They're pretty evil. But yeah. I mean, if I had to go camping right now, I could do it. I just don't know about the heat. So now I gotta learn about regulators and see what ones I need. Which is going to be interesting, because I don't know if they make regulators for the small size of the hose. I think it's only the big size. But if it's regulated, then will it still work on the stove? So, something I still have to learn about. I guess I'll be heading over to the propane subreddit and ask some questions. Just to kind of learn. Well, that's the whole thing. This has all been a giant learning experience. And I'm starting to, make some connections with people in the van life community. That's kind of neat. If you never watch, or if you're interested in the van life community, go and watch Van City Van Life. Chrome Valdez. He's a really cool guy. Watching his stuff, and he's funny. His bulldog, Cruzy. He's the star show, really. what a character of a dog, I just tell you. Just the way he just kind of looks, just like, it's so funny. But watch the shows and his van builds and what he talks about and the things that he does with his van. He lives in his van full time. Has a shop and does business from upgrades vans, puts 4x4s and stuff like that. Upgrades, and kind of cool. Kind of makes me want to buy a van now. But I got this. I'm happy with this. But one day I'm watching it. I see a guy come on the show. It's Andy. Like, I know Andy. Andy lives here, close to where I am. I'm like, oh my God. A guy I know is on a show I just happened to randomly find a couple months ago. So I texted Andy, dude, I just saw you on Chrome's show. How's it going? So he's out in, because Van City Van Life is out in BC. So it was just so funny to see someone I know on the YouTube channel that I was watching to learn about. So I went and stopped by, saw Andy's shop when he was back last week. Just catch up with him and see some of the stuff he's doing. And it's actually kind of cool. Overland Interiors is his company. I mean, for the van stuff. He does a lot of woodworking things, big projects. Does some pretty amazing stuff. He does some really cool things too. One of the things he did was the Rolling Stones. They come to Toronto, and they won a piece of artwork, a giant lips outside. So he made that out of wood. I got to see them. So he works in that kind of level of people. He does some really, really pretty wild artwork pieces and installations. He's doing this Christmas tree, this wooden Christmas tree for Gage Park in Hamilton here. So that's kind of cool. And it's in the progress. It's almost, I guess it's almost done. I don't know how far along, but it was neat to see it in progress. Like, oh, that looks cool. So he goes, it's not even done. It's like, yeah, but it still looks cool. So we'll see how that goes. That'd be really neat. And it's just wild to see it. Now the Sky Chrome BC has a vehicle. He's going to be bringing it down to Andy's place. So I was like, cool. Well, I'm going to get a chance to actually meet the guy. So and say hi and how's it going and whatnot. But yeah, so Chrome, if you just happen to randomly catch this video, good stuff, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you and, of course, Cruzy. He's the real reason, obviously, right? But yeah. So, well, we'll see how this all goes and have a little bit of fun with it. And just keep learning more and figure out how to wash the cast iron pan after each time you use it when you're out in the road. Because it's not like I have running hot water to wash it all the time. So if I'm out camping, what's the best way to clean it? Simply just wipe it down, which might not be a horrible thing, but you don't want to use soap on cast iron. So there's that. Oh, well, let's see, about 3 o'clock now. I haven't got anything else to do. Not too much out here, that's for sure. Just outside, just heading back and packing this stuff in, bring it inside. Washing the pan, obviously. And get ready for the rest of the day. It's just nice to kind of get out. It's quiet. That's kind of why I do this stuff. Mostly kind of chill, have a bit of fun, and enjoy just being out. Getting out of the rat race, which is a challenge of itself. Just trying to stay in it. That's why I'm looking at doing more camping. So I'm looking at if I just make some income that does enough to just allow me to get away from everything. That'd be fine. I don't need to make millions. I won't say no if it's something came up, but at the same time, I'm here. So why would I get into the rat race? It's becoming less and less attractive. You keep trying, and you keep getting beat down, and you realize you're on the wrong path. And it's funny. The more I do this, the more this easier seems to come to me. It's like, this is what you should be doing all the time. So here I am. Yeah, I keep doing it. With this light being converted into a rechargeable battery now, it's funny trying to find just a cheap battery pack. You can't find cheap battery packs. I think the cheapest one I saw was like $40. I mean, I've seen some stores that had them. It's like, oh, hey, $17, and it's like, half to a third of the size. I'm fine about the size. I don't care because it's a rechargeable battery. I just keep charging it up. But like, oh no, sorry, sold out. Everyone's sold out. No one's doing cheap rechargeable battery packs anymore. So I might actually have to look at making my own. And again, it's not terribly hard, but Don't really want to make one, but if I have to, I will. I just don't need anything terribly fancy. Now my low battery, so yeah, I probably should just pack stuff up and head back home. Had enough of all kinds of fun today, but it's always fun. My little niece, she's asking me, why are you a YouTuber? Because I enjoy doing it. I like talking to people. I prefer talking with people, but it's hard to have a two-way conversation on this platform. I mean, y'all can chat and text messages on there, so it's kind of like a conversation, but it is a little challenging. It's not a purely two-way conversation, but it kind of gets that way. But it's nice to meet people from random parts of the world, seeing where everyone's coming from. I forget where to put this when it's not in use, because if I put it anywhere else, it's just gonna hang or roll around. So I don't know. That's not gonna work so well. I have to do a little clamp for this so that it can keep the wire out of the way when it's not in use. That's nothing too fancy. I'll do something with that. All right. Well, it's been fun. Subscribe to the channel, then you can see the video I recorded about the propane setup that I did for cooking just before starting the live channel. So that might be up later tonight or tomorrow morning, one of the two. And then you can see the setup that I have inside my vehicle. Well, in this case, it was on the tailgate because, well, it was warm out, so there's no point doing it inside. And it wasn't raining at that time. Now it's raining, so maybe next time I'll actually be able to do some cooking inside. I still have to think about logistics of setting that up, because my propane tank is at the back. Now I've just got it strapped off to the side, so it would kind of have to, the Coleman stove would have to sit here, and I might have to adjust that because the hose isn't that long. I don't think it quite go around enough, so we'll see. Things to it's just the logistics of setting up a vehicle for camping, even on a long term or short term. That's really what it comes down to. Well, we'll get to learn enough, and appreciate everyone who's all stopping by. I have a lot more channels. I'll do live streams, whenever they're kind of irregular, but the videos I'm trying to put up, I guess I'm putting up 2 or 3 a week now at this point. While I'm setting things up, that's what it is. Then hopefully next year it'll be more doing things with all the setup. That's the goal. All right, everyone, guys, appreciate it.